in to UFO Undercover, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
Welcome to the Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano. Airing live on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 FM in New Orleans.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Sunday night edition of Into the Night with your host, me, Sean Kelly. Getting close to the end of 2024, and what a week, what a week. Hello, Squatchman, good to see you, sir. Good to see you. And Jay, always a pleasure when you pop into the room. You know, I am on UPRN Talk Radio 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans, and I want to thank Joe Montaldo and Michelle Desert. I don't know how to pronounce Michelle. She's our station manager, but no, she's gonna, like yell at me because of that, pronouncing her last names. But listen, guys, I'm telling you, 2024 was crazy. Yes, hey, Michael Anthony, good times, good times. Hello, Michelle, good to see you, hon. Good to see you. I cannot wait for this freaking year to be over with. Honest to gosh, honest to Pete, man. I'm telling you what. Hey, Marketti, good to you. Cheerio back to you, brother. I cannot wait for this year to get over with. Honest to God. Well, before I get into that, I just want to know how everybody's Christmases went. Mine, I was sicker than a dog. Heidi, good to see you. Oh, wow. Sorry about that, Heidi. I don't know. I've been having a lot of problems. And I'll tell you what, before you get to my Christmas. Someone hacked into my computer. Someone hacked into my Facebook. Someone came in here and changed the date, changed the times of my show for tonight. And I'm like, what more can go wrong? Well, I'll tell you what more went wrong tonight. Okay. We had a major like wind come through and knock down a couple trees. They're outside right now down the park, tearing it up because it fell on the road or something like that. I don't know, but there are chainsaws going on in the back. So if you hear a chainsaw, that's what's happening. And then our power went on for about 5-10 minutes. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm sure you could probably hear the wind. It's crazy up here. Heidi says, my daughter is trying to order food at this moment and she can't check out. That is so sad, Sean. We had some random gust to I mean, seriously, if whoever is in charge of this weather, okay, in 2024, I think this is their last hurrah. Honest to God, I think they're just coming in full blast, throwing everything but the kitchen sink at us. Mark wants to know, can she order dinner for me too? And I'm telling you what, it's just it's crazy. You know, you're under a wind warning too. We don't get too many of those. Michelle was hacked on Facebook a while back. Still can't sign into my old account. Had to make a new one. She giggled. I'm telling you what, who knows? I mean, I think whoever's in charge of all this bullcrap going on out there in this world, man, right, is just like throwing everything but the kitchen sink at us, you know. And all I could do, I mean, I wasn't spazzing out, and I want to thank Heidi for telling me, "Hey, does your show start at this time?" And I'm like, "No, it don't." And I had to come up. Then as I was coming up to fix the time on the StreamYard to start my show, someone hacked into my Facebook account, you know. And I'm telling you, what more? And Heidi says, agree. And a black new moon tomorrow. Never heard of that one. Hey, Joe Fox, hello, good to see you. It is crazy, Heidi. I mean, I just heard a garbage can going down the freaking street right now. I mean, it just, what? Wow. And the thing about it for me is that I wasn't freaking out. No, not at all. I wasn't. I was like, okay, this is gonna be one of those nights. Hey D, good to see you, hon. Heidi says the second new moon in a month is a black new moon. Thank you, Heidi. Appreciate that. And well, we're going to see what happens. So the internet's been going off. So if you guys lose me, you know, I'm sorry about that, you know. But first of all, I just want you to ask your opinion on, you know, the Santa Claus look is gone. I got it. I got a haircut, you know, here. Jay says the wind is really tearing it up outside here. It is. It's crazy. I've never seen. So the Santa Claus look is gone. Okay, now I'm back to reality. You know, so everybody who knows me with all that white hair and shit like that, right? Scraggly like Grizzly Adams, man. Well, this is what I look like underneath, and I'm kind of glad I did it, man. They took off so much hair off my head and off my face. Thank you very much, Heidi. Appreciate it. Heidi says Schumann has been active too. Lit up, but you know what? I feel better. I feel more comfortable now. So this is me until start of November next year. I'll start growing the Santa Claus beard. But back to how my Christmas went. My son, he was in. And, hey, Augie Dory, my gosh. Hello there, buddy. Bad wind here near the airport. Yeah. Let's see, all the people who are talking about. Oh, well, thank you so much, Joe Fox. One day I might wear a suit jacket and a tie for y'all. See, we're good. Thank you very much, D. Who. Yeah, you clean up good, Sean. Looking crisp. Thank you. Appreciate it. But one day I will dress up and I'll wear a suit jacket and tie. I did that one other time a while back. We had a priest on Chasing Prophecy a while back. He was an exorcist. And so I decided to get in a shirt, a tie, and one of them suit coats. And oh my God, I shocked the whole world, man. I shocked everybody. And Jenny came up and said to me, she said, why in the hell did you wear that for? And I said, because we're going to be having a priest. So I had to show respect for the priest. It was fun. It was a good one. It was definitely a good show. But my Christmas, I was sicker than a dog. Okay. Starting Christmas Eve around 8 o'clock. I got really, I could just feel it coming on. And I was like miserable. I was almost at a zombie state, but we had some company over. My son was over. And so I did my best to hang in there. I did. And I just couldn't get over how fast I got sick. It was crazy. And then, so I went to bed, and Christmas morning I woke up and, oh my God, I couldn't move. So, and it was just like, like, what the hell's happening here? What's going on? What's going on in the air? What's happening on the outside? And I don't know, but come around 6 p.m. Christmas night, after everybody left, man, I went to bed at 6 p.m. That's never for me. That's a never. And oh shit. See, my office is up in my attic, and the wind is so strong that it's moving our house back and forth. It's just a crazy night tonight. But come I went to bed about 6 p.m. Christmas night, and I did not wake up until 7:30 a.m. Tom K, oh my God, good to see you, sir. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. Getting close to the new year. But yeah, I slept that long. I was still sick, and I'm still sick. But I just don't know what's happening. And then come to find out, when I went to work, everybody is sick at work. Jay says, it wasn't just you. We're all sick in our houses too. I mean, I'm not going to get into it. And then you got the fog, this fog that's been happening for the last couple weeks, where the fog don't burn off in the sunshine. Is anybody else experiencing this fog? From what I'm hearing all over the place, if you walk out into this fog, all of a sudden you start getting sick. Now they're called, what they call it, fog. I forget what it was called. Heidi says, so many people I know sick at the moment. I fell asleep by 8 Christmas night. Tom K, who says, mysterious Missouri fog is getting people sick. So, I was talking to my friend earlier, and I'm saying, is this the last hurrah? Is this the last hurrah? I mean, is this their last chance? Holy crap, man. Oh, this is scary. That one is really picking up. Is Sean trying out for the Weather Channel? I don't know. I don't know, but it's awful scary outside right now. And, oh, shit. Just so that. Yeah, my brother's going out to check it out right now. But it's like really insane. Jay, I know where you live, hon. Is it still really windy out by your area? Who knows? But my Christmas was terrible. I was sick. And I really was not be able to enjoy good times, with my family, and I'm not, apologizing because I couldn't. I was really, really sick. But the day after Christmas, the 26th, and then I got to spend some quality time with my son, and everything seemed to be okay, So how was everybody else's Christmases? Please share in the chat room. Jay says it's very windy over there. Hey, Mr. Wojo, what's the weather like up there? Is it you getting all that kind of fog up there? Tom says we did some great shows together this year. Yes, we did. It was a pleasure to have met you, my friend. We did the April Eclipse special. We did election night, and we did that Flat Earther show. Oh my God, dude! How about that Flat Earth show? I was on Tommy's show, and I, I have, you know what? Honestly, I respect everybody. I respect what they believe in, but when it comes to flat Earth people, I really have a hard time dealing with them people. And I respect them. I give them all the credit in the world for doing what their shows are doing. But as of me, my own personal choice, I can't deal with them. There's no way that you're going to be able. What? What's that, D? D Hoot says, come through Texas a day or so ago. Bad weather, 74 today. Do you think, Sean, that holding things inside makes one ill? Yeah, I do believe that. I believe the more that you just keep everything inside, it brings in the more anger. Honest to God, it brings more anger into you, hurt, pain, whatever. And it gets so bad, sometimes you can get ulcers. It's craziness. So I have a big mouth now, so I cannot hold everything in. And if I have a beef with you, then I have to tell you about it. And it's not just to hurt you. It's not just to hurt you. It's just that I have to let it go, man. I have to let it go. Jay says Christmas was uneventful, thank God. Tommy says I have had a hard time too, but the guy was nice and sounded smart. Michael Anthony says stress, sickness. D says saw your son in healing happen. That's possible. And I have something else to share with you guys too. I'm glad you mentioned that. Heidi says tornadoes in Texas and Louisiana. Michael, it's that a meat cutter's joke. If I have a beef with you, that's funny, dude. That's funny. Michelle says we have frost and fog in Oregon. We have had newer weather phenomenon called frost quakes. Never heard of that one before. Stephen said it was 55 degrees today and went squatching in a new area. It was incredible. I can't wait to hear your stories on Saturday night with you and Richie Banter. D says, I'm not a proponent of keeping things bottled up. Thanks to you and your viewers for making my Christmas better. Home alone this year. I am so grateful that we could make your Christmas great. Really, that really makes me good to hear. That really, I thank you, D. Just got some chills. Thank you, D. That really means a lot. Tommy says, what's a frost cake? Yeah, I've never heard of that one. I think it's like frosted. I don't know. But Heidi says that we had 55 degrees today too. Mr. Wojo, man, I'm really looking forward to hearing about your new area that you are squatching at. Man, I hope you got some good stuff there. Hopefully we'll see it Saturday night on Bantering with Richie B. But back to this thing going on. Who knows what's going to happen? All he knows is that we got 2 or 3 more days left of this freaking year, and it's gone. It's done. It's over with. The only good thing about my 2024 are my beautiful people that follow me on my shows. Cindy Simpson, much love, Sean and everyone. Much love to you, Cindy. It's all you that made my 2024 Fantastic. Really did, tuning into my shows. And I mean, I had some very good, unbelievable shows. And every guest I had this year on my show did a wonderful job. Did a wonderful. D says Richie and Wojo have a great investigation today that included headstones out in the middle of nowhere. Oh boy, that wow, that would be interesting. See, whenever you guys go out, um, when you go out in the afternoon, I'm working and I don't get a chance to see it. But Cindy said hello, Michelle. And Mr. Wojo says, you made my year great, Sean. Very grateful for your friendship. Thank you. Thank you, Wojo. Sorry for the coughing. And as you made my year grateful. My people here are the greatest. And a lot of my friends on here, they were on my shows. I know Mr. Wojo and Richie B were on a couple times, man. And they talked about their Bigfoot experiences. Tommy Cahill says, do the shadow work, leave all this mess in 2024. Start fresh, forgive yourselves, and listen carefully out there. Let me repeat that. In fact, I'll put it up here. And Tom's right. Tom says, do the shadow work. Leave all this mess in 2024. Start fresh. Forgive yourselves and listen carefully out there. Okay. Cindy says, I'm very grateful for you, Sean. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. Heidi, grateful for connecting with you, Sean. Wojo, Richie, and so many amazing, beautiful souls. Oh my God, they are. You're so right, Heidi. A lot of beautiful souls in this group. Steve, Mr. Wojo says this group of people here are second to none. Awesome. Thank you, Steve. Mr. Wojo. I don't know why. I guess I'm trying to get, it's kind of sentimental, but Mr. Wojo, thank you, sir. Jenny Nicasio, my favorite girl in the world. Hi, Sean. You were wearing my favorite shirt. Yeah, I got my pineapple shirt on. So I love this shirt. It's comfortable. It has a bunch of pineapples on it. D says, does your son know the impact you have on others? I don't think he does, D. I don't know. I really don't think he does. But you know what? That's okay. I really don't like to get involved with my type of work with his. Yes, I am, Jenny, really sick. Really, really sick. Heidi says, I got to drive home listening and hopefully won't lose service. I hope you don't. You have a safe trip home, Heidi, please. Please. Yes, I'm very sick, Jen. But back to your question, D, my son is a full-blown scientist. Okay. And what I do and what I talk about, we're on each end of the spectrums. And I remember a while back that I had started talking to him about what I talk about and what I do. And he didn't want nothing to hear with it. In fact, we got in a real big fight about it, and I said to myself, I'll never bring it up to him again, and I haven't. So we don't talk about it. Let me see, Mr. Citrus. Jenny says, oh, I hope you're feeling better soon. I hope so too, Jen. But back to blasting you with healing energy. Thank you. I need all the healing energy I need. It's craziness, man. It's really, really crazy. So everybody in the chat room, tell me, what was your favorite show of mine? What show did you enjoy the most? They were all good. And I sometimes some of my shows, I don't know. I just pick a topic and I would talk about it, you know. And as you guys know with me, I talk about anything. It's the Irish blood inside me, I just let it go. But there were some shows that were pretty serious when it came to the paranormal. Um, I really enjoyed my paranormal shows. I loved it when um, authors would come on to my show and talk. Maximum Fury, all his books that came out, um, and they're doing really well. But here's the crazy part. If you want to know what the craziest thing about my shows are, okay, I think about them at the very last minute, what I want to talk about. Because I do have that show on Sunday nights, and I also have the show on Tuesday nights. So they're like really like close by. And once when I get done with the Tuesday show, before I know it, it's Friday and I haven't come up with a topic yet. But it's funny, I'll be at work and I'll be thinking of something, and boom, there I am. I'm going to talk about this. Okay, Joe Fox says, the show I enjoyed most was the one that came on at 8:10 every Sunday night. Oh, thank you, sir. Yes, I love my Sunday night show. D says, haven't been here for very long, so the Christmas show, and of course Richie and Wojo's, they brought me here, and I do appreciate you, Mr. Wojo and Richie B, for bringing D here. I really, really appreciate it. And Mr. Wojo agrees. Michelle says, so you fly by the seat of your pants, spontaneous. Yes, I do. There are a lot of times I do fly by the seat of my pants. It's spontaneous, yeah. But, and that's okay. Because here's my way of thinking, guys and ladies and gents. Here's my way of thinking. Whatever I'm supposed to talk about, or when I do talk, what I say, people are meant to hear it. So I might be telling you this, my show, and telling you what's going on. Like, for instance, if I talk about, fairies, elves, gnomes, mystical creatures of Ireland. To me, it sounds like Boulder Dash to me. Am I really, 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 making my show understand by people? Let's see. Jay says, did you ever discuss the lizard people under Mount Shasta? You know what, Jay? No, I haven't. But there's another show. The only way I'll do that show would be on a Tuesday night. But I really, it's crazy. What's really crazy about that, Jay, is that I haven't done any alien or UFO show in a very, very long time. Very long time. And I'm thinking about bringing them back. I know I will never ever bring up politics again on my shows, because I know I've lost a lot of people with politics on my show, because you know what, basically that's just not me. And that's even for a Tuesday night. If you want to hear me talk about political views, then you need to go to News on the Flip Side, Friday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern. It's Joe Montaldo's show, and I co-host it with him. And Tom Brady, I ain't going there, brother. Yeah, he's a ghost. He's one of them creatures out in the woods. But no, if you want to hear my political views, go to News on the Flip Side on this channel. And it's Friday nights, 10 p.m. And we do talk political. And that's a political show. And that's a 18 and over show. So nobody under the age of 18 can actually be on that show. Sometimes we have to put the show private because there's a lot of cussing on it. But, you know, and whoever comes on, you know, listens to the show or comes into the chat room and you have something to say, we'll read it and then you can discuss it and we can go from there. Michelle says, I wouldn't have guessed that. Dee says, my day job is caring for a medically fragile 26-year-old. So she keeps me counting my blessings and prevents me from feeling sorry for myself. God bless you, Dee. You're an angel. Honest to Pete, you're an angel. And I'll never talk about Tom Brady, brother. That's Mr. Wojo, never. Mark says, I listen, but I identify as being 15. You're funny, dude. He says, you gotta be old enough to vote to be there. That's a good one. But yeah, no more politicals, no more conspiracies. If I bring up a conspiracy, and I know that some of my shows in this past year were of some conspiracies and were some political, and I'm going to be honest with you all out there, I lost a lot of viewers and I lost a lot of listeners because I brought that up. The thing with having the paranormal shows, okay, I do a lot of paranormal shows, but you know what? I'm running out of things to talk about in the paranormal. I mean, there's over 4,000, maybe more paranormal shows out there, you know, and they all discuss different things. So that's why personally, I might change the format of my show. Okay, Mr. Rogers says, but if I become a Steeler, will we talk? LOL, love you, bud. Love making you smile. I'm glad that you do. I don't know, man. The Steelers are looking pretty crappy lately. But you know what? I'm happy where I'm at right now. And I will continue trying to find a topic for us to talk about on Sunday nights and on Tuesday nights. Like I tell everybody, Sunday night is my laid back show. But I really need a favor for everybody out there, if you can. I have decent numbers, and I'm not telling you to do it. You know, I'm just asking, could you please share this show with all of your friends, and so they can, you know, come other weeks and listen to it. Okay, let me see, what do we got here? Okay, so we are at the 33-minute mark. So I'm going to take a 70-second, close to a minute. Thank you, Joe Fox. Joe Fox says, Jenny Nicasio, I'm sorry for and her puppy. Yeah, I'm going to give Jenny a call later on. Mr. Wojo said, absolutely. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. But I'm going to go to a real quick break here, guys. And when I come back, we're going to talk about New Year's resolutions. Okay, so see you in about 70 seconds, maybe more.
When they are consuming your minds and your thoughts and your dreams, from the angels to the demons and to the mysteries unseen, there is no need to worry. There is no need for dread. It's just time to discuss the thing at the foot of the bed.
You're listening to UFO Undercover with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second part of the show, Into the Night, with me, your host, Sean Kelly. I am on Tuesday nights, 8:10 to 9:10 p.m., and here on Sunday nights from 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. on UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans. And we were just talking about how our Christmases were, how crazy 2024 is going out with a blast. The wind has died down here, but the Duquesne Light Company's out there still cutting down trees. And no, they're not my sponsor. But, I did find out that Carnation is still a sponsor of mine for the Sunday night and Tuesday night show. So that's pretty cool. Dee says, lately we've been experiencing multiple people parking in wheelchair parking spots. I just look at them and say, she'll gladly exchange her parking space for your legs. Good girl. Good thing for saying that. That is one of my biggest pet peeves in the whole wide world, is when people park in handicap spots. Okay, and oh my God, that gets me so mad. And they just don't care. They just don't care. It's not right. That's what they're there for. And then Dee says, I saw where resolution actually means releasing, letting go, in its original Latin meaning. In the Latin, I don't know nothing about the Latin meaning, but it is releasing or getting rid of the past. Making a list and setting goals for yourself for the upcoming New Year's. Oh my gosh, Donna Jean. Oh my God. God bless you, girl. She says, hi, brother. Long time no see. Miss you. I miss you too. Oh my God, Donna. So good to see you here. Oh man. God. Oh, it's so good to see you here. I'll keep saying that in my head. Stephen Mojo says, pure laziness and rude to the handicap. Yes, it is. It's totally rude. Ruder than hell. But let's get into the resolutions. Do they work? Do resolutions work? I know some of the main ones. Happy New Year, Mr. Richie B. Good to see you, sir. Welcome to the show. Love you too, hon. But do resolutions really work? We set them. Like, I'm going to quit smoking. You might last 2 days. Oh, I'm going to go and get on a diet. And then you might make it for a week, and then you're back on eating again. And then you take a membership in the gym, and you spend all this money for a membership, but you never go. Oh, Heidi, welcome back. Those are the main resolutions, but to a lot of people, they don't work. Or a brownie, we good. But, that those 3 resolutions I told you about, I have tried, and they never work, And I don't believe in them. And I don't set no resolutions for myself anymore. Whatever comes down the pike, whatever I think that, hey, maybe I can go a couple days without, vaping my vape, or, not eating as much, and then I'll go for that. Does resolutions work for you, people? I mean, seriously, do they work for you? I believe it's just another way to lock it upstairs, and that's the only way. Lock it in upstairs, that's the only way. But resolutions don't seem to work. And I'm only speaking to myself, not you guys at all. Whatever. But you know what? As long as I wake up in the morning, and as long as I am freaking happy, and I'm okay, and I'm alive, and I got the love of my son, and I got the love of my family, and I got the love of my family here in my chat. What more do I want? What more can I have? You know? Heidi says that she never had made them. Dee says, I don't make resolutions. I just set my intention and appreciating the things in my life. And no, they don't work for me. I like what you said there. You just set intentions on appreciating the things in my life. I like that. You know, maybe there are a lot of things that I should appreciate, but you know what? I don't. And maybe that's something I should start in 2025 and see where it goes from there. Donna Jean says, I think I'll try to get out in nature more. Resolutions never work for me. Oh, nature's a place to go. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I just have not been right in my mind. And it might seem like I'm not, but and I'm not going to explain my mental illness with you on here. It's not, you know, but I just don't get out as much as I do before, you know. And there are some reasons, and there's some personal reasons, but you know, eventually, you know, hopefully I will be able to go out and do a little bit more things that I used to love to do. Somebody came up and told me on Christmas Eve, my cousin, and he said to me, he said, let's go out and do some ghost hunting. You know, I've been ghost hunting a long, long time. And I'm thinking, and I did it for over 30 years. And then I just quit because I got tired, you know, and I made up every excuse in the world not to go back out there. But you know what? Maybe I'll go out a couple times. Start off small like I did before. I would be lying to you if I told you that I didn't miss it. I do miss it. I really enjoy seeing all the evidence that people get and they share it on their YouTube channels. I really enjoy the stories, you know, and it just makes me feel great. And I know a lot of people in my chat room right now, and it feel the same way. D says to me, resolutions equates to my willpower. There, Max. Hey, Max, talked about your books. I'm grateful for you, man. 2025 is a new beginning for all of us. Yes, it is, Max. Thank you for stopping in tonight. And I just felt really good. Just felt really good that, you know, I hate getting my hopes up high for things, you know. I'm the type of person that, you know, okay, I'm going to go out ghost hunting and I'm going to go here, here, and here, here. And then when the time comes, I don't go. I'm too tired or something else comes up. D says sometimes strong, sometimes not. Why save it for one day out of the year, let alone the first day? That's true. But before, you know, we're getting close to the end of the show. But I want to share this dream with you that I had 2 nights in a row. So it was, what night was it? It was Christmas Eve. It was Christmas Eve night. Okay. And not night, the next night, the 26th. And what happened was I fell asleep. And like all of a sudden, I'm awake in my dream. And this is a true story. True story. And I'm in like in a little restaurant, like a little diner. And I can see myself in this diner. I can see myself sitting at this table with people. I didn't know who they were. And then all of a sudden, I lay my head down on the table. And I'm thinking, oh, wow, what the hell's wrong with you, Sean? You know, you taking a nap or what? And then I heard someone say, a woman's voice say to me, in my dream, which I was in, say to me, "Yeah, you're dead." And I'm like, "What?" I was like, "What? Seriously?" She said, "Yeah, you're dead." And actually, what it was, excuse me, was I was actually looking at myself being dead at this diner, at this table. And I said, "No, it can't be. It can't be." And I got really nervous. And so whenever I get into one of these dreams and I reach for my vape that's on the side of my bed, and I saw, and I went like this. I started to reach and I couldn't grab it. I could not grab it. I'm thinking, oh, hell, I got to wake up here. And I did. And I could not sleep after that. Could not go back to sleep whatsoever. And it wasn't the brownies that make me happy either, Richie. Seriously. But I saw myself die in my dream as I'm watching myself. I was wondering if anybody had an explanation. I don't know. But the very next night, I had the exact same dream in the exact same diner and the exact same people. It was just like a repeated dream that I was in watching myself die. And so I looked it up. What's it mean by looking at your dying in your dream? And it's like a transformation. It's like a rebirth. Getting rid of the old and starting off brand new. And that morning when I woke up the second time, I just felt like 3,000 pounds of pressure just lifted off my shoulders. I was like, oh, wow. So I had to share that with you. Maybe you guys can come up with something better. I don't know. But it scared the living shit out of me, is what it did. D says, had a dream I was talking to a woman I do not know. When I realized she couldn't hear me and I must have been dead. Wake up in a full-on panic attack. Never forgot that. It's crazy. Who knows? 2024 sucked. Maybe to me, seeing me die at the table, maybe all the crap that I went through in 2024 is going to go away. I do not know. What I want to tell you is it scared the shit out of me. Heidi says, wow, thank you for sharing, Sean. You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, everybody, we are like really getting close to the end of the show. I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. I haven't not heard if they're having a New Year's Eve party yet on Tuesday night. So if they're not, I will be here. I will be here. And if they are having a party, I will try to get the word out for you. And if you're here, jump into the party in the chat room and talk about whatever you want to talk about, because there's a bunch of good people on this network. It really, really is. I hope everybody had a nice Christmas. This Tuesday, it's New Year's Eve, so we can talk about something different. Maybe we could talk about, what you want to happen for you in 2025. Whatever we talk about. D says, thank you all. Happy New Year's. Out. See you, honey. Michelle, thank you for being on. I got to get a message to you, Michelle. Honestly, I need to talk to you. But children, if you can, please go to your parents. Give them a hug and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children and give them a hug and tell them that you love them. And if you have no parents and if you have no children, find somebody and give them a hug and tell them that you love them. Because those 3 words I love you go a long way. And on that note, again, Merry Christmas. And we'll talk to you Tuesday night. Happy hunting.